Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be once again talking about some Twitch-related drama. So a few weeks ago, Twitch released some clarifications of their enforcement notes, basically allowing people to get a bit more transparency when it comes to how Twitch applies their terms of service. Unfortunately, this has only revealed even more hypocrisy when it comes to the enforcement of their TOS when it comes to VTubers. VTubers often getting a much harsher treatment than regular face cammers, and it's become very obvious that even popular VTubers have not been immune to this hypocritical treatment. We've seen people like Fallen Shadow, Nyanners, and even Zentreya getting hit with a warning for sexual content. It's getting really out of hand. And here is the most recent VTuber to get hit with a ban from Twitch, MegalodonVT. So you can see she's a pretty established VTuber, and she was hit with a ban about an hour into her re-debut 2.0 stream where she was showing off a new VTuber model, something that took a year of work to put together. Obviously a very big stream, and very shortly into it, she was hit with this ban. Obviously very disappointing, and we can actually see the ban in real time here. So this is exactly how quick things happen.
Messy. We'll raid out soon. We're just gonna... Once we get done with this hype train. I also know a cute Canadian streamer. Ooh, who? What happened? What the fuck happened?
And it's gone. So yeah, it all happened very quickly, and she would go to Twitter, quoting the streamer ban's bot here, saying, "No warning while I was still alive. When I toggled my bikini, I had water in the background and was in pools and hot tubs. My underboob was not toggled on. What's the problem?" So this all really comes down to the swimsuit she was wearing and trying to play around the rules, and I think correctly for the most part. She just put a bunch of water in the background, said this is a pool and hot tub and beach stream, which is actually pretty fair. But this is the outfit itself. Now, when you're breaking down attire on Twitch, there's some pretty simple steps to follow here. So looking at this first, right? So when it comes to attire, VTubers have the same requirements as regular face cammers. And the big thing that we first look at is hip coverage. This is required under most circumstances. And in this case, if it wasn't for the pools and hot tubs and beaches category, she'd be in trouble. But she did, of course, have this exception that she was playing on really to make fun of the crazy rules at Twitch, where she has her traditional swimsuit and also the PNG of water in the background, which, again, I've said this before, like as easy as it is for a cam streamer to lazily toss an inflatable pool in the corner of the room as they're doing a cam show and call it a hot tubs, beaches, and pools stream to get away with more revealing outfits, VTubers have it even easier if they really want to. If you want to use that category to show off more skin on your model, all you got to do is literally slap a PNG with water in the background and say, yep, I'm at the pool. It's really that simple. And it's reflected in the rules where under this category, if you're under it, you can have much more revealing swimwear and show off much more of your areas around your buttocks, as they say here in the rules. And also, just looking at some of the hypocrisy, there's always just a great disparity between how rules are enforced against face cameras versus VTubers. And Megalodon would point this out on Twitter. And I have to even censor the IRL cam streamer here because you can see most of her underboob and pretty much the whole screen is just skin, right? They get away with a lot more than what VTubers do with their outfits. However, this is really what got her banned. I think this is pretty clear. It was a very short segment here, and it's highlighted by this clip, and this is what got her banned.
Look at how educational this is! Guys, I didn't know Twitch could be this educational. I'm not...
So basically she does that obviously as a joke, right? She's trying to mock the rules on Twitch by focusing in like that, and unfortunately that is something that actually violated the rules technically, because you can't focus your camera around areas like that, like whether it's your hips, your backside, what have you. You can't focus in according to Twitch. Now, how they apply this is very hypocritical given whoever the target of this enforcement is going to be. But that's what she did. She actually did violate a rule, and a lot of people would go to Twitter and basically say, well, she broke the rules, she deserved it, end of story. And I saw a lot of tweets like this coming from other people in the VTubing scene saying, I really do think this is some kind of new matter. Doing things that are obviously breaking TOS and then running into Twitter and claiming they were banned for no reason in order to get a little bit of clout. Zooming in while shaking your hips, obvious ban. So I think right off the bat, this is an insane claim. To claim that Megalodon did all of this intentionally to farm engagement and clout on Twitter. And I saw a lot of VTubers saying this, and that sort of sentiment really just shows to me that a lot of VTubers in the scene have messed up priorities when it comes to what's actually important, because Twitter is not that important. Getting engagement on Twitter, not that important. If you look at the biggest, most established VTubers in the scene, they largely only use their Twitter for pretty much two things: retweeting art of themselves and also posting their schedules and their stream alerts and things like that. That's pretty much it. Rage baiting and trying to engagement farm is not worth your time or the stress, because really there's nothing to gain, especially if you're just a regular VTuber, doesn't focus on drama. Trying to rage bait and farm drama is not going to increase your following on places that do matter, like Twitch. So implying that Megalodon would sabotage her own 2.0 debut that took apparently a year to prep for, and possibly lose her main platform just to farm engagement on Twitter for a little bit of clout, is an insane claim. And also a lot of people were just like, well, rules is rules, and of course Twitch would review her appeal and confirm the suspension for inappropriate attire, specifically referring to that zoom in. And yeah, of course, people break rules on Twitch all the time. If you watch enough of a stream, you're probably going to find some kind of a violation, especially with VTubers, since some of the rules involving them are very open-ended. So I don't think it's really fair to just say, well, she messed up for 2 seconds, she should be banned. Yeah, technically, yeah, you're correct, but I don't think we should honestly look for the first mistake anyone's doing and try to remove them from the platform. And on top of that, the hypocrisy is insane. I mean, we've seen many screenshots like this coming from the streamer Asian Bunny, who has been banned, I believe, like 14 times at this point. And yeah, some people say, well, they do get banned. Well, she's never been banned for more than like 3 days. She consistently farms content that clearly violates the rules. I mean, I can't even show you what's on the screen. This is one of the metas she's been doing for a long time, where she has a camera focused on her backside while she's wearing a thong. It's practically up inside her. It's so ridiculous. And the camera focused on that is bigger than the display of the game she's playing. And she gets away with it because she puts a little inflatable pool in the corner, even though this is also violating the rules. And we have to sit here and honestly compare someone like Asian Bunny with this sort of a camera, where she would stream for weeks before getting banned with a camera focused on her backside like this. And we're saying that's on the same level as someone zooming in on their hips for 5 seconds while trying to make a joke. Like, it's ridiculous. And on top of that, this comment from Fallen Shadow's funny. She's basically saying a lot of the Twitch staff are afraid of succumbing to 2D superiority. But the reason I bring her up is because I believe she's another example of someone at Twitch, whether it's a staff member or various staff members, who are essentially cock-watching VTubers and trying to ban them during big events. We saw with Fallen Shadow a few months ago. She was getting ready for a big birthday stream, and only a few hours before it was supposed to go live, she was banned for sexual content, which doesn't reflect her content at all. And with Megalodon, she was banned during this big 2.0 stream. So basically, you have someone sitting there with their hand on the ban button, ready to get rid of them the second they mess up during these big events. And I think there's a little more nuance that should be required during all of these various bans. And honestly, like, what happened to giving warnings and things like that? It doesn't seem like in this case she was given any warning. It just went right to a 24-hour ban, which would come to an end. Now, based on what I've seen in the language she has expressed, it sounds like she knew from the beginning it was a 24-hour ban and she'd be coming back. And she's, of course, now back and her account is restored. But it just seems like all this for what? Because she zoomed in for a couple of seconds. It just seems very ticky-tack and just kind of petty at this point. And again, it doesn't really help the narrative, the very much supported narrative that Twitch treats VTubers much differently, or cracking down on them much harder with their enforcement of their policies than traditional face cameras. They're never going to beat those allegations, and this just proves that once again. And before we go, I just want to remind everyone, in case you missed yesterday's video and its announcement, I have a new Halloween drop with Advanced GG. You can check out all of the new items here. We got several bundles featuring new art of me and my wife, Darling Straub, who's also a VTuber. You can get the big bundle featuring all of our products, or my smaller bundles here, or you can get the items individually, which includes a new flavor jar, a new ice shaker, even a desk mat, and some stickers if you want to get a more affordable item. And yeah, thanks for the support on that, and I'll put a link to this in the pinned comment, and also make sure to use code REV at checkout to save 10% on your order. Make sure to get this before it is gone. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.